Hey, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up, good people? It's your girl KB. You know what I do, and you know why I do it. It is Sunday morning, November 5th, and it is 4:50 in the a.m. Now, this next reading is from Daily Reflections, and I want to say it's one of those readings that just make you pause. It's entitled The Quality of Our Faith. That right there. You know, you've heard me say I get stuck on the titles a lot. That right there, the quality of our faith. Some of us get hung up on the quantity of the faith that we incorporate. And when we do that, we oftentimes lose sight of the concept of monotheism. And many of us go into idol worship at that point. You know, we have many gods. But I'm coming back to the quality of our faith, whatever it is. You know, some days, I'm wearing the sweater. Let me put it like that. I'm covered. I'm really into. And other days, there's a loose thread and you pull it and the sweater unravels. Amen? Kind of like that analogy. Some days you're walking around bold in your faith. You know that you know that you know. And other days, your circumstances, the pressing, the personal conviction, guilt, and yes, even sin rattles us to our core. The quality of our faith. Let me get into this reading. It says, this has to do with the quality of faith. In no deep or meaningful sense have we ever taken stock of ourselves. I'm going to read that again. In no deep or meaningful sense have we ever taken stock of ourselves. The writer says, we have not even prayed rightly. We had always said, grant me my wishes instead of thy will be done. And you've heard me preach about the gimmes. We make moves, we maneuver, we manipulate, convince, connive, and then we conceive. And then we hold whatever it is that we've gotten up to the world as a blessing. But you didn't tell how you maneuvered and manipulated to get what you're now calling a blessing and holding up to the world. And yes, it is a blessing in the world's eyes. But I guarantee you, you won't tell the story of how the manipulation and the maneuvering will later become a burden or has become a burden. See, then in that you become the victim. Or you'll say, God is testing me. No. God is a God of order. You are now dealing with the consequences of your behaviors. And some of us get off very lightly Not that I'm saying I have a degree of punishment for whatever it is that you've done. I just want you to know that God has shown mercy upon you. And it's time to get right. You know, that's when I say you've gotten off lightly. Let me finish up with this reading. It says, God does not grant me material possessions, take away my suffering, or spare me from disasters. But he does give me a good life, the ability to cope, and peace of mind. See, we blame other people and other things for disturbing our peace of mind, and we never look at, again, how we've moved. I need to pause for a minute to let that sink in. It is our nature to project and blame, and we never, ever, ever look at our behavior, or we find it hard to make amends because that behavior and having to make amends for that behavior forces us to look at our character, our heart. You know, most of us are acting. Let me see, today I'm like, you've heard me compare myself to the Temptations, you know. I'll spin out and I'll come right back to the mic. So I'm coming right back to the mic with the message here. It says, my prayers are simple. First, they express my gratitude for the good things in my life, regardless of how hard I have to search for them. And some days you got to pull a blessing or pull a praise. It says, and second, I ask only for the strength and the wisdom to do his will. He answers with solutions to my problems, sustaining my ability to live through daily frustrations with serenity that I did not believe existed, and with the strength to practice godly principles in all my affairs. See, when you find yourself in the middle of something, it's because you stepped in to the middle of something. There was no prayer. You got caught up in the feeling. Or you got caught up in the hype. You got caught up because somebody paid you a little attention that you thought you deserved at that moment. You got caught up because you're constantly seeking validation from outside things and people other than seeking God's face. Because if you sought God's face, you wouldn't need the validation. You would know who you are. And you would stop acting. You would show up authentic. If you notice the picture on this recording is a genie. And I talk about the God of our gimmes. Because our prayer life is often, thy kingdom come, my will be done. And then you'll run around and make something happen. And tell the world that God did it. And then you go into hiding when it implodes. I know I'm preaching to somebody. See, I want to say, in my personal case, you know where I went to hide? In the arms of God.